I have got to add X-Men Red to my pull list because Thomas, nobody's checking up on you. So I gotta be the one to do it. What are you doing? I swear to God. Here's Tom Taylor. He just walks around with some Post-its, right? And he sees an article and he just slaps it on his computer. Or he just reads a newspaper and he just puts Post-its on a thing and it just says, "But X-Men." Or maybe, he's just too scholarly of a writer for me to understand. Okay, let's get into this. Look at this cover. Now, I will say that the covers for these have been pretty good. I've thought about putting them up on my wall, but I just can't because I feel like I'll die and then somebody will be like, "Oh, X-Men Red. Apparently Lindsey was quite the fan." And then I'll have to engage in some sort of battle out of hell and then battle out of purgatory to return on Earth and set the record straight. And that just sounds like a lot of fucking work. So I'm not gonna risk it, okay? But we got this, and man. I don't know why, Tom Taylor especially, but they're pushing Laura, Lady Wolverine, on everybody pretty fucking hard that she's the real Wolverine. And it's even more ironic because they're bringing Wolverine back, so you better get a new name. You best get a new outfit, lady. And this, let me tell you, this shit right here, being able to see your sternomastoid, it's not attractive. And I feel like he's going to be pretty upset when he sees that you've been going around in his outfit. Okay, so stop pushing this on us. Stop it. I go on the comic book Reddit, and apparently people really like her, and I don't know. But let's get into this hot garbage. So at the end of the previous issue, everybody's going on a magical ride to Wakanda on their brand new, gently used Indian Sentinel when they encounter Storm. So what they do is they shut power down to the Sentinel, so they crash down into the water to avoid Storm because she can't get them down there. Okay, so they're floating down here in the water, and it's a lot of fish. And she's headed for Wakanda, and Gentle is there. Who's that? Exactly. We saw him a little bit in the first issue, and I think he appeared in the previous issue for like a second. He's a guy who can turn big, but it hurts him. But he's black, so we gotta have him on the team. And Trineri says, like, "Hey, I can use a Sentinel to take her out." And they have this very charged moment. You would think it would be charged, but neither of these faces say anything at all. It's as if Jean Grey is asking Trineri where she wants to eat, and she just said, "I don't care," and these faces work exactly for that. But it's like this just struggle between who's the leader. Obviously Jean Grey's the leader, so she heads to deal with Storm. And then look at this shirt. It's not too bad from Target. I mean, I don't buy clothes from Target, but I feel like that's not a bad shirt to get. So get that. We get this double page spread because Tom Taylor couldn't force another page out of himself for even $1 probably. No, that's cheap. For $5, she's like, "I can't. I've done all I can fucking do. I am struggling. As long as current events keep happening." Ugh. You think the next issue will be about net neutrality? Maybe. And I won't be upset about that. So, Jesus, okay. Storm gets there. Gentle is also there. Black Panther is there, even though I feel like he tries to be in this comic the least, because it's as if he knows about the success of the Black Panther movie, and he's like, I mean, I know it's my home country, but it's kind of weird for me to be in this, and it's not very good. So Jean Grey, she goes up to Storm, and she's like, "It's good to see you," and then they're just kind of flying very limply in the sky. Gentle grows really tall, and, oh god, I'll show this little panel right here. Gentle gets really big. Trineri and the Sentinel come here, and she goes, "I'm Trineri, this is my robot, we're here to help." Cheese, just cheesing it all up. And no adult acts like this. Except, you know who does act like that? All those terrible people in comic books that are like, tee-hee, I'm 35 years old and I love comic books even though I've never read one in my whole life and it's my job somehow. Why? So Storm is trying to kill all the mutants because she's finally wised up that, you know, you're a blight on the species. And Jean Grey, she can't reach her mind like she couldn't reach the mind of some of the people in India. But she can tell that someone has suggested her to come to Wakanda, so she removes the suggestion. And then we get this panel where that's, I gotta tell you girl, that's not a very flattering angle at all. But then that's kind of cool because I'm doing the foreshortening chapter in the How to Draw the Marvel Way, so that's a very nice example of that. Storm crashes to the ground and then she tries to kill herself with lightning because she's been programmed to kill mutants. And you know what, if you can't kill mutants, but you are a mutant, just go ahead and kill yourself for us. Do everybody a favor. Nobody will miss you. Just go ahead and do it. Fucking do it, pussy. And then we get this. Oh, Gentle! This is his big grand entrance, and it just is like, who gives a shit? He just absorbs the lightning. And then I'll show this one panel on this page. Lady Wolverine comes, and it's almost as if, like, what is even happening here? Because this is so poorly executed that she kicked Storm in the fucking face. I don't like that at all. So Storm has been knocked out, and they're trying to figure out what the hell happened here, and we are reminded that we are in Wakanda. And then I've been paying attention to writing more in depth than I have probably in my entire life, and Tom Taylor, he's doing a lot of showing, or he's doing a lot of telling and not showing, and he's also doing a lot of exposition talk, where he could relay information to me in a meaningful way, but instead he just doesn't. And here's what I mean. Okay, so we see Storm is there, and she's surrounded by that sweet future tech, and we've got T'Challa's just being like, damn, I wish I wasn't here. And Jean Grey says, you and Aurora, you're close? Yes, I suppose we are close again. And he says a thing that even I knew. We were married. It's amazing how much you miss when you're dead. I think that was supposed to be a little bit of a joke, but okay. Let me just say, God, I feel like I've been talking about this comic for 45 minutes. But what I'm saying is, he tells us, well, no, shit. I'm trying to prove that I'm, like, better than Tom Taylor, and I'm completely fucking it up. But what I'm trying to say is here, it's just this really weird exposition talk. Instead of having Black Panther, this is sort of on the artist as well. Instead of having him, I mean, he does this a little bit where he just touches her arm, but I mean, I go around touching unconscious people's arms all the time, and I have no emotional connection to them at all. I just see someone, maybe it's even a dead body, I just touch their arm, because it's like, it's one of my things. Choking and touching unconscious people's arms. Don't judge. And instead of him saying just anything to be like, God, I hope she makes it. Or, I just feel like there's a better sentence out there than, we were married. Like, I've never been married, but I have to assume if you've been married and divorced, you still have some sort of feelings for people, even after the fact. Well, you know what, some bitches be crazy, so probably not. But then you get close again, so you'd be like, I care for her deeply. A piece of me will always love her, even though we are divorced, or we are no longer together. I just feel like it could be better, but it's like, you know what, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that they were married. What's the easiest way to say that? Boom. We were married. Done. And then he looks in his mirror and he's like, I'm Tom Taylor. I wear, not Kangol hats, not newsy hats, but the hybrid of both of those. Even though everyone knows I'm bald, and I don't know why people wear this type of hat. Go just look at a picture of them. I don't know why people wear that kind of hat. So, and then we're going to get to the show don't tell me part. So we see this, got this big brain thing, and There's a nanite sitting on her amygdala, but it's too dangerous to remove in surgery. So this is why Trinary is in this whole comic. I guess there's no other mutant that's already been established that can do this computer stuff, except I feel like that's a load of garbage. They just needed like a brown lady to do it. And she says, I'm talking to it, it's complex, but I can't control it yet, but I think I can turn it off permanently. This is the Tom telling us. He's telling us that she's talking to it, but there's no showing it. Like, I feel like if this was a real comic and not just like a projection of my nightmares, like, you can't even get this in store. This is basically a hologram for me. And if this was real, you would have, like, her being like, oh God, you know, putting her hand on her face, maybe have some, like, hieroglyphics floating around, or just something cool to look at. But now she's like, I'm talking to it with some blasé. Man, this artist needs to get better at drawing faces. Ugh. So they enlarge the thing, enlarge the hologram within the hologram of this comic, which is the brain. And Jean Grey apparently can't do anything on her own. So she has to consult the minds of T'Challa, because I think we forget that he is a super smart guy. And she can do some... God damn it. Why? Why? She can control the nanite in it, and she's like, I'm thinking smaller than I've ever tried before. It's like, does Tom Taylor know the meaning of a rough draft? Or is he some sort of insane egomaniac or something? Like, come on, Tom, I'm thinking smaller than I've ever tried before. Or why not just give me a cliche line about, I'm opening up my mind. Ooh. And this is reminiscent of the first issue where instead of Jean Grey coming up with her own ideas of how to fix the planet, even though it doesn't explicitly say how she does it, she just gets a whole room full of smarties and just like, she's like a knowledge succubus. That's what she is. And then we find out what it is. So it's a nanite. And then this is where Tom Taylor goes around butt X-Men. Poor Nightcrawler. You deserve better than this, my guy. There's a theory. And then it says, look at her. Look at her. She just looks like nothing. There's a theory that an analytics company worked out how to use our social media data against us. Where have I heard this before? Is this my own dumb brain projecting onto this? I thought I was more creative than this. What's going on? This is the worst fake comic I've ever dreamt up. Playing to our bias. Come on, focus so I don't have to spend so much goddamn time on this. Like, I don't... Okay. Playing to our bias and our online habits. The accusation is that the company was employed to swing world-changing votes in several countries, and they continue to do so. Essentially, they play on people's fears. They implant distrust and hatred. That's what this is, taken to the extreme. This isn't remote persuasion, this is pure fear and hate directly hardwired to the brain. It's called a centinite. Jesus fucking Christ. Ordinary people turned into instant mutators and hunters. The Sentinels are us. And of course, if you got those in your brain, you're a mutant, and you can't take out other mutants, you gotta kill your fucking self. Whoa! Okay, let's just get this shit out of the way. So, obviously, this is about Cambridge Analytica, the company, blah blah blah, stealing all of our data, splicing some Russia investigation stuff, which, I mean, it's been proven that Russia created a shit ton of fake ads to make dummies reinforce confirm whatever they wanted to believe in the first place. And I gotta tell you, if you're swayed by an ad on Facebook, you're probably gonna vote whatever way you're gonna vote anyway, but also you're fucking retarded. That's the way I feel about it. Of course, it's a terrible thing. Russia did it. We gotta get better at preventing that sort of thing. And it's just like, it happened. Let's just try to prevent it because Russia is not going to stop. But I gotta tell you, frankly, I'm tired of hearing about it. Do the investigation, but I don't need to hear about the shit every day. It's taxing. And another thing, I feel like Tom Taylor is trying to insert that... Okay, I'm trying to organize the thought in my brain so I don't sound like a complete buffoon. But I feel like he's trying to say that to an extent, in the real world, right, that... God, what am I trying to say? That there are people out there who were persuaded to think as they are, that there weren't people who were already sort of awful. If that makes sense, it's like if you truly believe that a Facebook ad made someone into an insane racist, I feel like that was already there. So the idea that reading an ad on Facebook fully pushed them to go insane, it's a little bit much for me to get there, but Jesus. And like, this is kind of a cool concept of the idea that chips will make people kill mutants, even though I don't even need a chip. I'm ready to go. I'm locked, cocked, and ready to unload on these freaks of nature. But man, nothing has even happened. That happened with Storm. I'm gonna need to see some full-scale riots. Wait, where the fuck is Gambit? Did he kill himself after the reception of the last issue? Did he kill himself again when he heard news that they're really pushing for the Gambit movie now? Again, for the billionth time? And he's like, Channing Tatum, I don't understand. R.I.P. Gambit. Everybody just put a little Cajun seasoning on whatever you're going to have for dinner tonight. So the thing is a splicing of Russia influencing the election with some Cambridge Analytica stuff. I hope he wins an Eisner Award for this. So, eventually, they decide they can't be in Wakanda anymore because it's not safe. So, we cut back to another member of the team who's barely been in this thing at all because, what? And it's Namor. So, they decide that they gotta be in Atlantis because the Sentinites cannot get them due to the pressure and everything. And Namor is... not Namor in this. So, okay, Namor was like the first mutant that ever existed, and one of the first things he ever did when he was first created back in the day was he completely leveled New York City. And now he seems to be running a charity organization for this misfit of mutants. And then also I just want to show this garbage is I saw a mermaid. It was pretty amazing. And Jean Grey's like, what? And Lady Wolverine says, what? Being Wolverine doesn't make me impervious to the wonder of a fucking mermaid. Again, subtly reminding everyone that she's Wolverine, whether we like it or not, and also letting me know that she's kind of cool because she cusses, you know what I'm saying? I don't think there's been any cussing at all, at least in this issue, and they choose to save the cussing for a mermaid sighting. Okay, and then Namor kind of plays off the fact that he's helping them. He's like, and Jean says, oh, stop, you're a king and you're immune. I'm not asking you to lead us, but we will need you beside us. This is not like a Namor that I've ever seen, ever. I hope he's being a double agent right now, and he's just waiting to slaughter everyone, and then this will cease being X-Men Red, and it'll be a Namor series. Because you know what? I read that Namor miniseries from a couple of years ago, where it was basically just guys in a submarine, and Namor just came and killed them, and it was like a little bit spooky. I want this comic to turn into that. And then we see that they all get special new suits that will protect them from the Sentinites. Jesus. What, she says something, okay, she says some like computer words, am I right, guys? The Wakandans and I were able to work together to create these suits. They will act as a firewall to the Sentinites. Congratulations. Apparently when Tom Taylor was doing his research about the Cambridge Analytica stuff, he saw the word firewall and he sprinkled it in here. How does that work? How does that work at all? Nobody's wearing headgear. This shit got on Storm's brain. Boom! I'm just knocking plot holes into this whole damn thing. And Kurt, why are you here? And then I'll just show this. Is this not the sorriest fucking group of X-Men you've ever seen? We've got her just standing there. Got him who has expressed that he doesn't think he's good enough for the team, and he's absolutely right. Jean Grey with her shoulder pads. Storm, I guess, is on the team now. Namor trying to literally find an out of his own underground sea kingdom. 2 of these, and Nightcrawler trying very intensely to envision a place that he can bamf to get the fuck out of here. And then the issue ends by showing that Cassandra Nova, the villain of this whole series, who Grant Morrison made her into a total G. I still have another issue of New X-Men I gotta do. Who hasn't been mentioned since the first issue, is shown to meet with world leaders, and she's implanting the chips in them. So maybe that'll lead to something, but what? What is this? The last issue literally had tiki torch carrying white guys. And this is like, these chips, they get on your brain and the ads. What the fuck is going on here? He's probably gonna win an Eisner for this shit. Oh man, it's like real life, but comics, so it's easily digestible for people to figure out. I don't even think people can realize that this sort of is about, you know, like, race and Facebook and the Russians. I don't even think people can see that. That's me, I'm Tom Taylor. I'm Tom Taylor talking right now. Let me adjust my cap that I wear, even though everyone knows I'm bald.